What no one tells you about sex during menopause. This one secret might change how you view intimacy after 45. Are you tired of feeling like your body is fighting against you? You're not alone. Millions of women hit menopause and suddenly feel like strangers in their own skin. The night sweats, the mood swings, the unexplained fatigue, these are tough enough. But what about sex? That's the part no one talks about. The truth is, most women aren't prepared for how dramatically menopause can impact their sex lives. The physical changes, the emotional roller coaster, the silence surrounding it all, it's enough to make you think something's wrong with you. But here's the twist. It's not just happening to you. It's happening to nearly every woman. Yet society treats it like a secret club, one you didn't ask to join, and definitely one no one explained the rules to. So today we're going to rip off the silence. We'll explore what really happens to your body and mind during menopause. We'll talk about what doctors sometimes gloss over, what girlfriends might hesitate to share, and what could actually bring intimacy back into your life, not as a fantasy, but as a real, beautiful possibility. Because sex after menopause isn't over. It's just different. And once you understand that, it might just become better than you expected. Are you ready to reclaim your body and your pleasure? Why does everything suddenly feel different? If you've asked yourself this question during or after menopause, you're not imagining things. One of the biggest shifts that happens during menopause is hormonal, and it touches every part of your sexual experience. Let's start with estrogen. This hormone isn't just about your period. It's the silent protector of your vaginal tissue. As estrogen levels drop during menopause, the vaginal walls become thinner, less elastic, and less lubricated. The result? Sex can go from pleasurable to painful, and fast. You might notice burning, itching, or a feeling of tightness. For some women, intercourse becomes so uncomfortable, they start avoiding it altogether. And then comes the guilt, the confusion, the distance in relationships. But here's the thing, it's not your fault. And it's very common. Estrogen also affects blood flow to the pelvic region. Reduced circulation can lower sensitivity and arousal, making it harder to get turned on or reach orgasm. Add in the fact that the labia minora may shrink and the clitoris might feel different. And it's no wonder women feel like their bodies have betrayed them. And yet no one really talks about it. This silence makes many women feel broken, but you're not broken. You're going through a natural, biological change. And understanding it is the first step toward taking back your power. There's another layer here, urinary changes. The urethra, which carries urine out of your body, is also affected by low estrogen. This can lead to urgency, leakage, or infections, all of which can make intimacy feel like a risk rather than a joy. But here's some hopeful news. Your body is still capable of pleasure. In fact, it can adapt. And with the right support, whether it's through products, therapy, or simply knowledge, you can feel confident and connected again. Let's be honest, aging changes everything. But it doesn't end everything. What physical changes surprised you the most during menopause? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could help another woman feel less alone. Why don't I feel like myself anymore? It's not just your body changing during menopause. Your mind and emotions go on a ride too. And when it comes to sex, your headspace matters just as much as your hormones. Let's break it down. First, the hormonal roller coaster. Estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone levels all drop during menopause. These aren't just reproductive hormones. They also help regulate mood, energy, and even brain function. So when they crash, it's no surprise you might feel more anxious, irritable, or just off. These mood shifts can impact your libido in big ways. You might feel too stressed or emotionally distant to even think about sex. Add to that the exhaustion from night sweats or insomnia, and you've got a perfect storm for desire to disappear. Then there's the issue of body image. The sudden belly fat, the dry skin, the sagging. Society trains us to fear these changes. We're told sexiness has an expiration date, and for many women, that internalized belief chips away at sexual confidence. It becomes a mental block. If I don't feel attractive, why would anyone desire me? But that's a lie. The truth is, your worth and your sensuality aren't tied to your appearance. They live in your presence, your confidence, and your connection with yourself and your partner. Still, the emotional toll is real. Some women face grief during menopause, not just for their fertility, but for the version of themselves they once knew. That grief is valid, and it takes time to work through. But here's the silver lining. Many women come out of this emotional fog stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. They stop performing and start living for their pleasure. So take a breath. You're not crazy, lazy, or broken. You're evolving. And you're allowed to ask for help, whether that's a therapist, a support group, or even just a friend who gets it. How has menopause affected your mindset around intimacy? Drop a comment. We're in this together. How do I tell my partner things are different now? One of the hardest parts of navigating sex during menopause isn't just what's happening inside your body. It's figuring out how to talk about it, especially with the person you're supposed to be closest to. But here's the truth. Silence creates distance, and vulnerability builds bridges. For many women, changes in libido or discomfort during sex can feel embarrassing to admit. You might worry your partner will feel rejected or confused. Maybe you're scared of seeming broken or old. But here's what most partners actually want: honesty and connection. Start with a simple truth. Things are changing for me, and I want us to talk about it. This opens the door to a conversation, not a confrontation. It lets your partner know it's not about them doing something wrong. It's about you trying to adapt to something new. If your libido has dropped, explain it gently. Let them know it's not about a lack of love or attraction, but that your body and hormones are shifting. You can even bring humor into it, because sometimes laughter helps take the weight off heavy topics. Also remember that intimacy doesn't always mean intercourse. Rediscovering touch, cuddling, massage, or just laying skin to skin can be deeply healing. Relearning each other in this new chapter can actually deepen your bond. And if your partner's libido is different from yours, that's normal too. Mismatched desires happen at every age. The key is staying curious, not judgmental. Try exploring new ways to meet each other halfway, whether it's scheduling time for intimacy or experimenting with new forms of pleasure. Don't forget, couples therapy or sex therapy isn't just for people in crisis. It can be a powerful way to open up communication and reconnect. Have you had the talk with your partner yet? If so, what worked or didn't work for you? Your insight could help someone else find the courage to start that conversation. Wait, there are actually treatments for this? Yes, and more than you might think. Many women suffer in silence during menopause, thinking discomfort during sex is just something they have to deal with. But the truth is, there are real, science-backed solutions that can make a huge difference. Let's start with something simple: vaginal moisturizers and lubricants. These aren't your teenage drugstore lube. Modern formulations are designed specifically for menopausal dryness. Vaginal moisturizers, used regularly, not just during sex, can help restore hydration to vaginal tissues. Water-based or silicone-based lubricants reduce friction and make intimacy comfortable again. Choose one without harsh chemicals or fragrances. Then there's localized estrogen therapy. Unlike full-body hormone replacement therapy, HRT, these treatments target just the vaginal area. Think creams, tablets, or estrogen rings. They rebuild tissue, restore moisture, and even improve elasticity. They're low dose and often considered safe for long-term use, even for women who can't use systemic HRT. Always consult your doctor, but don't let fear keep you from asking. Speaking of HRT, let's address the elephant in the room. For years, hormone replacement got a bad rap. But newer studies show that for many women, especially those under 60 or within 10 years of menopause, HRT can be a safe and effective way to relieve a range of symptoms, including hot flashes, mood swings, and yes, sexual dysfunction. But what if you want to go hormone-free? There are options for that too. Therapies like Familift, a laser treatment for vaginal rejuvenation, or pelvic floor physical therapy can help strengthen muscles, increase blood flow, and restore confidence. Yes, pelvic PT is a thing, and it works. These therapists specialize in the muscles that support your bladder, uterus, and vagina. You'd be amazed at how much they can help with pain, incontinence, and even arousal. Let's not forget about testosterone. It's not just for men. Low-dose testosterone therapy has been shown to help some women regain libido and sexual satisfaction. Again, it's not a blanket solution, but it's worth discussing with a menopause-informed provider. And finally, mental health matters. If your libido is low due to anxiety, depression, or emotional disconnect, no physical solution alone will work. Talking to a therapist who understands menopausal changes can be a game changer. Your mind and body are a team. Here's the takeaway. You don't have to settle. You don't have to suffer. And you definitely don't have to feel shame. Medicine is catching up. Conversations are opening up. And you have the right to advocate for your pleasure and well-being. Have you tried any treatments that helped or didn't help you? Share your story in the comments. Someone else might be looking for exactly the advice you have to give. Is it possible to feel sexy again at this age? Absolutely. But it might look different than it did in your 20s. And that's not a bad thing. Here's the truth most women don't hear. Menopause can be a turning point, not just a closing chapter, but a new beginning. Yes, your hormones shift. Yes, your body changes. But guess what? So does your understanding of yourself. Many women say they feel more in tune with their desires post-menopause. Why? Because the pressure to perform fades. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're not rushing. You're focused on what actually feels good. Real connection, deep intimacy, honest communication. And that is incredibly powerful. So how do you reconnect with your sexual identity when everything feels new or unfamiliar? Start with you. Self-touch, exploration, and getting comfortable with your body again is key. It's not just about pleasure. It's about relearning what you like without judgment. Many women find that using toys, reading erotica, or simply spending time focusing on their own needs helps rebuild confidence. Next, redefine what sex means to you. Sex doesn't always have to include penetration. In fact, for many postmenopausal women, non-penetrative touch becomes the most fulfilling part of intimacy. Cuddling, massage, skin-to-skin contact, shared fantasies, all of these are valid, beautiful expressions of connection. And remember, sensuality isn't about age or appearance. It's about presence, the way you move, the way you touch, the way you own your space. You might not have the same libido you once did, and that's okay. Sexuality in this stage of life can be slower, more mindful, and even more satisfying. It's about quality, not just frequency. So give yourself permission to feel, to explore, to want. You haven't lost your sexual self. You're just uncovering a more evolved version. What have you discovered about your sensuality after menopause? Drop your thoughts below. Your story could inspire someone to rediscover herself. Why didn't anyone tell me this sooner? That question echoes through the hearts of millions of women navigating menopause. So much of what we experience, dryness, discomfort, shifting desires, emotional upheaval, is whispered about, if at all. But not here. Not anymore. This space is for truth, for openness, for saying, hey, this is happening to me too. Because once we start talking, something magical happens. Shame disappears. Confidence returns. And so does hope. Sex after menopause is not over. It's different, and in many ways, it can be better, more honest, more connected. More about what you need, want, and deserve. You're not broken. You're becoming. You deserve pleasure. You deserve understanding. And you absolutely deserve to live a life where your sexuality isn't buried under silence, but celebrated in full light. So if no one told you what menopause might mean for your sex life, consider this your permission slip to speak up, to explore, to take back your joy. You're still sensual. You're still desirable. And you're still worthy of connection, inside and out. If this resonated with you, let's keep the conversation going. What's one thing you wish someone had told you about sex during menopause? Leave a comment below and help another woman feel seen. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talk about women's health. Because we're just getting started.